Hello and welcome to another episode of Real Talk. I've been absolutely loving these, and now we're going a bit deeper. Now we're past the intro phase, so excited to bring this one to you today because it's a really important one. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked, we'd really appreciate that because it helps to keep us going and means that I can keep showing up and providing this stuff complimentary. So today in Real Talk, we are talking about why healing keeps you stuck. So I've spent over 20 years in the industry, and I can tell you that most healing is keeping us stuck, or it's keeping us in a loop. So let me show you why that is happening. The main things we're going to talk to you about today is number one, the Stockholm syndrome of self-help, of the self-help world, the Stockholm syndrome, and you may have heard of that. And we're going to talk about why this addiction with feeling better versus freedom. So feeling better versus freedom. So we know in Liberate Me that feeling better does not necessarily equal freedom. And people seek comfort, not clarity. Clarity means facing the truth, not meditating it away. So clarity means facing the truth and not meditating it away. And that's what's really important. At the moment, ask yourself, am I in that Stockholm syndrome? Okay. Am I being gaslighted? Okay. And I'm not a lover of that term, but we're using it so we can get a message across. And that is into thinking I'm not doing enough. Oh, I need something more. I need something more. I need something more. At the moment, the industry capitalizes on feeling better. Okay. Those that are seeking comfort, not true transformation. People that want to meditate it away, breathe it away, get some comfort, but not real transformation. And this can get really frustrating, okay? Because then we're going around in that loop. So it keeps us in that loop, all right? So the Liberate Me philosophy is you are not broken. You're not broken, and you do not need fixing. The other part of the Liberate Me philosophy is emotional chaos is data. It is data, and it is part of our ecosystem. It's part of what is required for us to get what we desire even better. We're not trying to delete emotional data. We're not trying to delete the human experience. We're not trying to delete not feeling good. We're not trying to delete the chaos, the pain, the ups, the downs. Okay? It is happening for you and not to you. That's the important point. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to watch the full video today. Watch until the end. There are some beautiful nuggets, and at the end of this, for those that listen to the end, come back to me and tell me this is what I got from it. We will give you a special session, okay, on your experience and a conversation about that, okay? A sacred geometry soul profile session, okay? So watch the end and let me know what you think. Liberate Me discovered after 20 years of personal experience research, okay, why traditional methods to heal, to transcend, to create what you want, from therapy, from coaching, from performance coaching, from energy healers, from breath work, from meditation, to law of attraction, and all other modalities you can think of, because there's so many of them now, right? You know, challenging aliens, whatever it may be, okay? Can, okay, leave clients feeling more disillusioned or stuck, or not quite having the results that they invested in. And on top of that, being blamed for not getting it right. And this is perpetuating, damaging the person more than they came in, okay? So now with the coaching industry being one of the fastest growing industries, there's zero barriers to entry, zero. Right? So you can just enter. You don't have to be qualified. You don't have to do this, that, the other, especially with social media and all of the things now. So whether that's on Instagram, whatever platform, right? There's zero barriers to entry. So it is a breeding ground like never before for unscrupulous or ignorant or just not realizing or misinformed advice and services. And often, which hurts me the most, it preys on the marginalized. Okay, those that are trying to make it, and we all marginalize maybe in different ways. Okay, whether it's you just want to fulfill your dreams, single mothers of Black, minority, ethnic, or you've gone through some trauma, you have some vulnerability. So it can be any kind of marginalization, okay? But it tends to prey on that, people that want to fulfill their dreams. And of course, in the coaching industry, there's a lot of people that want to do that. Okay, they want to find love, they want to heal from that self-sabotage, yet they're not sabotaging. The illusion of that you are stuck, okay, is the biggest lie, okay? That why I've got to keep healing keeps me stuck, okay? Because you are not broken, okay? So healing is not a thing. Everything is happening by, if you like, a soul-designed ecosystem, an ecosystem of our human nature, that we use the bad things to create the good things. We require that. It's not meant to feel, you're not meant to feel healed, okay? So this is very important. So this is where it preys on that, okay? And the promises of get the magic strategy, right? Get the magic strategy to make the millions, doing what you love, and oh my God, and I know this from personal experience, okay? From investing in this, having lots and lots of clients, okay? Lots of people, seeing what I've seen in the industry and what's going on. Like a few years ago, around this documentary actually, there was, here's the magic strategy. We're going to get you to number 1 on Netflix. And as I looked into it, luckily I've got this ability to read. Also, my husband is really great on the logical side that I mentioned, to be able to start to read what's going on here. Something's up. Okay, and then having done the research, we're seeing this is a bridging, where it's scam, okay, to marketing something that's not going to actually deliver. So there's never really been a coaching industry expose as such, right? But there are many, many, many people that are unknowing of these things that are moving. Okay, I was one of them. And this is why I want to tell you, because I care. This is why I want to call this documentary, I Care Too Much. Okay, that are misinformed, misguided, and when people do speak up about this, then they're often attacked for it. Maybe I'll be attacked for this, but hey, it's okay. I'm coming from love, I'm coming from truth, and that's okay. So the kind of attacks you may get is, it's not working because of you. You're blamed for your own failure, not doing the work, okay? And I can tell you, I invested in some of these things, and if you know me at all, I do the work, right? I do the work. I can tell you, I did the work. And what I discovered is that some of these things are not just sad, but dangerous, okay? They can actually have negative impacts, okay, on people and experiences. Some things are heartbreaking or coming out more traumatized than they went in, okay? Or more confused, okay? Usually just more confused. Not knowing whom to trust, making no return on the investment from the business coaches out there that say, I've got the formula, right? There's magic solutions to get you to 1 million or to get you to this amount of money. But the truth is, because you have an individual identity signature, there's a very specific way that you're here to use the situations in your life that feel challenging, bad, traumatizing, chaotic, the data that is inside of that emotional chaos for you to use, because that is unknown, okay, or not well known, and how to actually activate that. And also any formula, because you have true elements of who you're here to be and how you're here to do things and how you're here to operate. A one-size-fits-all formula is not going to work. Okay, or it may, if you push yourself through it, you may get some results, but it won't give you that fulfillment. So there may be one or two that are edging into the area of scamming and con artist, but they are the few. Mostly it's the misguided marketing things that the value doesn't come out of and things like that. So in the main, as someone that's hiring these services or as a coach, you can stop feeling like imposters, okay? And actually discover the integral work here and help people and get help yourself. That is true, right? Rather than trying to meditate it away. So choosing truth over comfort, rather than buying into self-fulfilling, misguided concepts that make us the victim of something and something else or someone else to blame in our relationships, in our lives. And it's okay to feel that way, but that's not the truth for what's happening here. So yes, so it's a bit of a utopia that we are in. The I care too much, real talk, maybe documentary one day, right? Is hoping to remedy what is a beautiful industry and cause a loving but no BS revolution for the truth to prevail for the good of all. So it's looking at the curious anarchy that's going on. So this is about the capitalist imperialism, if you like, okay, of the world, to stop looking down on people. That's not what I'm trying to do here. This is not helping clients, okay? And it's not helping coaches, okay? It's not helping, nobody's winning here. All right, so people are suffering. So it is for those that want to break free from all of this, to break free of the grip of the parts of the industry that have become capitalist, self-serving industry in many ways. And there's nothing wrong with capitalism, okay? Conscious capitalism is okay, right? We'll talk more about that another time. But in many little pockets, and sadly in some individuals, with some huge followings sometimes, this is existing. We don't want to ignore it, and we don't want to shame or anybody, but we just want to bring ourselves up into more integrity. We're evolving together. So this isn't like this is more than just an expose. That's not what we're looking to do, just to create hot air. This is about activating. When I say activating, it's like get a result, an outcome, change at all levels, okay? On clients, taking more responsibility, of course, getting more wise around purchasing, and for coaches in the industry to really feel inspired to come into their true energy, okay? And know what it takes to come into integrity. So to close this off, the awful truth, if you like, that now in the coaching industry, there is a brawler sense mentality to exploit these concepts for self-gain, okay? And also in other industries, like I said, like in the MLM, in even the Silicon Valley, there's a lot of exploitation going on. And I think it's without knowing for the majority, and then for the minority, they know what they're doing. Okay, and we don't know what we don't know until we know it. So it's okay, right? We just want to bring it into integrity. It's okay. And so there's much, much more on this topic. I am going to stop there, but hopefully this gives a flavor. Thank you. It means the world to me that you've taken the time to listen. And yes, we are excited for this real talk. Thank you for listening. This has all been about why healing keeps you stuck, why it keeps you stuck, and why actually your emotional chaos is data. And we want to stop meditating away the discomfort, okay? Because the discomfort is where everything happens. I'm sending you so, so much love.